Hey Happy Crew, welcome to Season 24 of Grand Party. So we're going to go ahead and get Day 1 matches done. We did pull the new Blackbeard and Law unit, so we're going to go ahead and use him, the Blackbeard unit, as our friend captain for today. See how that goes, see how we get through content, and see if this guy really is the best for getting through some of these harder items here. So we are going to be taking on teams. Obviously, the INT and the PSY get a huge buff to their total CT. So I think what we're going to probably do here is maybe have our INT team go first against their PSY team, see if we can take out their team before they can go, or take out their slasher team before they can go, and just kind of see how that works. We may have to tweak some things here and there, but we do get negative 40% to the requirement for Blackbeard, which is awesome. You love to see that, plus an extra burst. Love to see that as well. So yeah, let's get into it, and we'll see how it goes. I think on this team, the INT Hawk does get a bonus per the rule set of this season, so we do have to watch out for that. But hopefully with our own S-Hawk and some of the units here, we're able to easily kind of get through without too much problems. As you can see, we're just ticking the special further and further. We'll be able to do just some additional damage over time, stuff like that. But his burst really isn't that crazy. So nothing to kind of get too excited or to write home about. But it'll be interesting to see how it goes as we face these different units. Of course, they get their burst by doing damage to us, so you can see they haven't really had a chance to even have their specials go, which is why we're in a good shape so far. Let's hopefully we can keep that up. And Yamato's going to say, nope, not today, guys. So yeah, like that was kind of crazy how easy they actually handled that slasher team with the CT reduction. If you had like a side team that had like an L, like you could even further do some just nasty reduction to them. So yeah, that was a pretty crazy first match. Let's take a look at what their second team is real quick, and we'll see if we want to swap or keep. So it is an INT team, so I think what we're probably going to do is let's go ahead and swap and use our blue team in the second slot, and we'll save kind of the that last team there for when we get into it. So let's just go ahead and use the Blackbeard special just because it'll just tick up naturally throughout the course of using it. I'm guessing that they'll be able to get their special off at some point before us. Is what it is. Just do a bunch of stat reductions on them. So this is kind of a quick hodgepodge team that has just a bunch of crazy units on there. Obviously, Akane can do the nasty HP cut. That's what we have her here for. That pudding is nasty because she can give that CT, as you just saw. But even with that, Akane still goes, does a nice big chunk hit there. Cher's going to do the same. We're going to take a nasty shot here, probably trigger their burst. Oh, actually not. Their burst is only about a quarter of the way charged. I thought it would do much more damage than what it actually did. Luffy just going ham. So yeah, I mean, so far, for this day 2, like, or for this day 1, I should say, I'm actually surprised how easily we're actually getting through the content. I thought we'd have a little bit of problems at least so far, but so far with the PSY Luffy captain, it seems like Blackbeard is doing actually pretty well. All right, so we're able to get through. We got our first win of the day. You'd love to see that. So let's go ahead and get into match number 2. Let's take on this Luffy team at the bottom. Yeah, let's try this Luffy team at the bottom here. I think we're going to do the same strategy that we just did there. Of course, we might swap the teams for the second and third. But yeah, let's keep that same strategy. Let's see if our INT team can go against their quick powerhouse first. Yeah, and let's handle it that way. Now, unlike the slashers who get a nasty debuff there, for this season you're able to have most of these units on here don't get that debuff. So special should roughly go at the same time. We do have to watch out for the Smoothie and the Orochi on the back bench there. It's just a lot of nasty special rewind stuff that happens there. Just prolongs the battle, which obviously we don't want to do. We want to try to see if we can wrap it up as quick as we can, but sometimes that's not exactly possible. So Blackbeard's going to go first because of his awesomely slow cooldown. Give a little bit of CT delay, though it's not that much. S-Hawk comes in, does a nasty shot, but not enough to really take anyone out. And this is where it gets tricky because you have the Smoothie who just came in. She's going to have the ability to reverse specials even more. It just becomes a bit of a pain to have to deal with. It looks like the Smoothie will probably go before our Luffy goes, which means that she's going to end up resetting our specials there. See if maybe we can use the Blackbeard special here to reduce the speed, maybe move her farther down the order. Nope, didn't work. Yeah, so it is what it is, I guess, unfortunately. But luckily for us, our Luffy special stayed intact, so that might actually be what saves us. Unfortunately, S-Hawk's going to go and just kill one. But hopefully when Yamato goes, she'll be able to take out Orochi herself, which will be fitting. Which was Hiyori taking Orochi out, but hey, you work with the units you got. Boom, 7,500 damage right there. See you later. All right, so let me just take a look at the Dex team one more time and see if I want to maybe swap my teams that are out there, or do I want to? I definitely don't want my quick team to go against that. So yeah, I think I'm going to move this team up. So this is the kind of the weird Psy striker team that I've kind of built, even though the Odin there at the end is not a striker. But I just want to see, what we could do there. Obviously, they get all the boosted CT and stats and that stuff, so having them there should hopefully let me get my specials off pretty quick. There's no slashers here. Like, this is really like an anti-slasher meta. So there's not really much that this is going to help him with because Law's not going to be able to special bind. I don't think anyone is a slasher. I mean, maybe Big Mom, she has a sword there, but it's not going to be able to really do too much for me in terms of, special binding people. But we'll get a little bit of damage over time. Unfortunately, everyone just missed out. You can see Yamato kind of hit like a wet noodle there, unfortunately. Big Mom, that half stat is nasty. Took out our Roger Whitebeard, and that pretty much will end it right there for us. So yeah, we'll go into match number 3. We can just go ahead and skip that. We know that there's no chance. And the bad news is their burst is just about ready, so we might actually lose this. Maybe we should have actually had the this team go against that slasher team going forward. We'll see what happens. It won't take much for them to charge their burst, so once pretty much one of their units goes, it will go. I'm hoping that because they have the CT reduction, that we'll be able to have our units go first. Obviously, they have the K-Dad unit and the Odin there, who's strength, so we might get some benefits there because we have a whole quick team, so we might be able to eke out something. It'll be close, but we'll see what happens there. As soon as Blackbeard special is ready, of course, we'll use it. Unfortunately, S-Hawk's probably going to go, which is going to just not be fun for us. And it looks like their Roger Whitebeard is going to be able to go right on time. And that's going to pretty much seal it for us. Yeah, that was just really bad timing for us. Probably should have swapped those. For some reason, I forgot that it was a slasher team that was there. My mistake. it happens. We'll replay the same team, like I said. Same exact stuff that we'll do. The only difference is we'll just swap the PSY team at the end there to take care of that Slasher team. Alright, let's retake that same team on again. Obviously, we're going to get destroyed that second match because it'll be a Dex versus Quick matchup, which is fine. That's what we expect. So I'm just going to go ahead and just basically skip through this. We should be able to get through this without any problems. We don't have to rewatch that same battle again just to make it a little bit quicker. So yeah, you can see like this INT team is just absolutely nasty. Will probably be nasty for pretty much this whole season. All right, we're gonna go ahead and just skip this match as well. We know we're gonna lose. It's a Quick team versus a Dex team. Don't expect to be able to win here, so let's just go ahead and skip that. I mean, actually, we might be able to actually win here. I don't want to say that we could, just because obviously it's Dex versus Quick. But maybe we'll get lucky. Let's see what happens here. Let's use our special. I mean, there's no reason not to. It will kind of all depend where that Luffy can go, what he's able to do. Nope, I expect that they'll die. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the end here. Unfortunately, we're going to take a burst off Riff here. Which is not ideal. Oh, sorry, actually, they used their burst, it looks like, in that last one. Okay, so that's good. So, yeah, the fact that they only have one burst left is actually fantastic for us. Like I said, we could have threw the NL instead of the Odin here to even further debuff them if we really wanted to. But we didn't. But that's kind of what we can do there. I'm going to use the Blackbeard special here. Hopefully Odin does some special bind here. Looks like their S-Hawk can still potentially go, which is obviously not good. But hopefully with Yamato and Aokiji and those guys going, hopefully we can do some damage. Hopefully we take off S-Hawk before he's able to get his attack off there. There we go, and that will secure the win. Yeah, so it's interesting. I thought the Yamato would be better here, so I'm thinking maybe of swapping her out for someone else who might be a little bit better. We'll see how that goes. But so far, even though she hits through defense, she hasn't really been doing that much. So might be something to change for the following days. There we go. So yeah, well, like I said, if we would have had the anti-law or anti-Slasher team go against Slasher from the beginning, we would have won that pretty easily. But it is what it is to get us win number 2 for the day against another PSY G5 captain. So let's see what match number 3 looks like. Yeah, so just it's interesting. Let me take on this first team. Now, granted, it's a INT Luffy. But I think what I want to try, let me just see what that team looks like. Yeah, just because their strength team should be a little bit debuffed this season, because they have a couple fighters on there. Let's go ahead and run it this way. We'll do INT versus INT. And And then worst case, we could save the strength versus quick for the end with us having the type advantage there. So let's go ahead and see what happens here. That's what this first day is for. It's for playing around, seeing what works, what doesn't work. But overall, like I said, I'm not like super impressed with the Blackbeard burst ability. Yeah, it gives some stat down, gives some damage over time, but you won't be using this guy going forward. And once you hit like day 3, you'll be using the INT Luffy if you have him. Otherwise, you'll be using the PSY Luffy guaranteed. So we do have to watch out for the cooldown of Pudding here. Obviously, that's always a pain to get their specials charged and ready to go. The good news is the Atlas is debuffed because she's a fighter unit, I believe, so she gets that debuff for the season rules. Give a little bit of CT delay, especially for that Bonnie, because she would delay our specials herself. Pretty much everyone's ready to go. But hopefully our Luffy can go first and just not have to make any of that really matter too much. We can take some shots here. Yeah, so you see not a ton of damage. Hopefully S-Hawk comes out, wipes out 3 units here. We are probably going to take a burst off Rift as of the next match. Just because their burst gauge is ready, if they don't use it on this first match, that is. Hopefully Yamato will take out these guys here. Perfect. All right. Yeah, so as I said, we're going to take a burst off Rift. Second team is really the sacrificial team. We're really hoping to get that type advantage for the third match there. Again, this team is really, the team that I have here with Law on it is really meant to take out slasher teams. So, obviously this isn't a pure slasher team, so I'd expect that we'll lose this one pretty quick. They shouldn't be able to do much damage, which means that their burst gauge shouldn't charge, and hopefully I'll have the advantage going to that third match. So we'll take the burst, then we'll hit skip. Perfect. Yeah, so their burst gauge charge like 10%, so that's absolutely perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to happen. All right, quick versus strength. Let's see if we're able to get our attacks in first. I'm going to use my burst right off the bat. Actually, maybe I'll save my burst a little bit, I think, just in case. Yeah, let me save my burst a little bit to get a little bit closer to when we can do dealing damage with our specials. So we get it CT 10. Let's see what their CT looks like. I mean, their CTs are all pretty high, too. Of course, you have to watch out for that Kobe unit. He could do the haste, which is just always a pain to deal with. Kanan's going to do the HP cut. Sora should hopefully do 4k damage here. Of course, we do have to watch out because they have all their specials ready. And all their specials do damage through defense. So that is definitely something to watch out for, that we're going to have to watch out for. But the monsters are saying, nope, doesn't matter. We're going to take a shot here. But yeah, we won that. So yeah, even though it was a pretty decked strength team, we were still able to eke out the win there, get win number 3. So that's kind of the Blackbeard showcase as a burst leader. Like I said, the fact that it just ticks up pretty quickly is awesome. If you had to wait double the time or 40% more time, you're not going to use that guy. But yeah, so that's the showcase of Blackbeard for today. I'll probably try to do Law tomorrow just to show kind of the different things you can do there. Just make sure when you're done for the day, help out the community. This isn't like last season where you only need 10 wins to be able to go ahead and get get the max rewards, you have to get all 15 again. So just make sure at the end of the day you go ahead and set your friend captain to a non-burst captain. Help everyone get those 15 wins. Community strategy to help everyone. It's where it's at. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I appreciate it. And until next time, be kind to each other.